You're listening to the Geek Blues Podcast, the show that tunes you in and hypes you up on your favorite anime and games. Glad you could make it, Geek Bros and Bluesettes. And now, without further ado, here's Genbu and the Geek Blues crew with today's episode. So sit back and enjoy the ride. You're in good hands. And don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Geek Blues Podcast. I'm your host, Genbu, and I got Bill, Major, and Danny Guy in space with me today. How's everyone doing?
What's up, man? Doing great. A little cold today, but the weekend was nice, so I'm good.
I'm doing all right. You know, I still have words in regards to this episode. You know, you throwing it together. You know, get yourself out of that punishment from last week, eh?
Oh, yeah. God. What punishment?
Don't think we didn't notice. You promised that Bill was going to be on the next episode, and you threw this son of a bitch real quick together so you don't have to deal with the punishment.
He's right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so I'm here, guys.
Well, I'm a man of my word, and I didn't want to. Bill couldn't do it tomorrow, so I was, and then he mentioned he was free today. So I was like, all right, well, I can't have an episode where it was just me and someone else, or me and Major and Dandy, and the listeners are like, oh, that fucking Genbu's a fucking liar. So I didn't want that coming. I didn't want that, being said. So I was like, all right, I got a shotgun episode. Boom, and we're here.
We don't need much time to prepare. We're pretty versed in things and stuff.
Sure.
Things and stuff.
Sure.
Things and stuff.
Things and stuff. Okay.
Except for anime openings.
Except for anime openings.
Yeah,
yes,
we're not really versed in that at all whatsoever.
Yeah, because I got two more to play, for this episode.
Nice.
So.
Oh, look at you. You threw it together real quick now, didn't you?
I love the game. I'm just bad at it.
Exactly. It's like Genbu in Dragon Ball Fighters.
That has yet to be yet to be seen.
Yet to be decided.
But it will be decided in the near future.
Oh. Is that a promise?
Yes. It's a promise.
You stumbled there. I don't know, man.
That was a little bit of a hedge there. I don't know.
No, it's a promise.
He's doubting himself now.
No. There's no doubt. The word doubt does not exist in my vocabulary.
Oh, you just used it, though.
Whatever. But what does exist in my vocabulary? Well, actually, I don't think this is not in the dictionary. Anime's not in the dictionary, right? No, it's not.
I mean, it might be.
No, it's not. I was gonna try and sound cool by saying something epic, but it didn't come out right, so I'm just gonna bypass that.
Nice.
And
nice. Save yourself.
Classy.
Save yourself now.
Real classy.
Yeah, I fucked up. So, but anyway, so before we get into our anime openings, I do want to give you guys a little warning about something.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, so in June, I believe it's June, Neon Genesis Evangelion is going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, boy.
So I want to pay homage to that, and we're going to do an episode on that anime when that actually happens.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
All right. So I haven't watched that. I watched that anime a long time ago. I finished it a long time ago, but it's not one of the animes I've rewatched like time and time again, like I have with Yu Yu Hakusho or Outlaw Star or Cowboy Bebop or a bunch of others. But I did enjoy it, and I think it deserves an episode. So
it definitely does. It's a staple, and its opening song is a staple as well.
You actually know the opening song?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you lying.
I freaking know.
You're all right. I said corrected.
I'm going to correct Genbu. Anime
Got you.
In the dictionary.
What'd you say, Dandy?
Anime is in the dictionary. I just Googled it. And it comes up in Merriam-Webster dictionary. So Merriam-Webster.com has anime listed in the dictionary.
Word? Okay.
Boom.
All right, so I guess I wasn't wrong.
Damn, man, you could have sounded cool as shit.
Also,
could've-
I do have some news for you, Genbu.
Oh.
Some very,
Oh.
very big news that you're going to enjoy.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. Are you
Your
sitting
bit.
down?
I mean, I was standing up, do some jumping jacks just now, but I guess I'll sit down.
So the news is I have watched Outlaw Star to its completion.
What?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what'd you think? You gotta tell me now.
I thought it was really, really good, actually. I thought it was awesome. I really, really liked the whole crew. Like Malfina, Jim, Asia. I can't remember the assassin's name at this time. Suzuka. Yeah, I thought everything. I thought it kind of started out like it started out really, really fast with like them, and then finding what was her name, Hilda.
Yeah, Hilda.
Yeah, Hilda, and then finding Malfina, and then going through all that, and then all that shit happens, and then there was a little lull through the middle of the show, and then the last, I want to say 3 or 4 episodes were fucking epic. Like the final stages where everything happens is just really
Like the galactic ley line.
Yeah, the galactic ley line was really, really cool, and it lived up because they talked about it the entire goddamn series, and I'm like, this better live up to what it's going to be, and it did. I thought it was really, really awesome. Now, I personally this is a personal bias. I liked Bebop better than this, mostly because I feel more nostalgia towards Bebop, but this was a really, really good show.
See, I feel so proud right now that one of you watched Outlaw Star.
I did it, man.
Yeah, I'm just. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting the Deku eyes right now.
Get the Deku crying.
Yo.
Speaking of Deku, I also finally watched Two Heroes.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, it's funny. My cousin just told me last night he finally watched it.
Yeah, because it came out on Blu-ray, and I drunk ordered it on Amazon one night, and so me and my sister watched it Friday night. Yeah, Friday night we watched it, and it was really, really awesome. Did
you get any feels like I did?
All right. My Hero Academia is like one of the top animes. I know it's shonen and it's mainstream-ish, but man, they hit you hard with feels. Like the way they do the music with the fight scenes and the beginning with young All Might and everything like that. It was just fucking awesome.
I need to actually watch that movie again. Now that you're saying it's available to buy or rent or whatever, I'm definitely gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's out now, English dub, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, and I got it on Blu-ray. Watched it on my TV. My sister and me ordered Chinese food. It was a great night.
Danny, did you watch it yet?
I was only able to watch the first 36 minutes on that Facebook link.
Disqualified.
Fuck you. All right. I will watch it. I've been watching Outlaw Star though. I haven't finished it yet, but
so that's right. You did say you're watching. What part are you at right now?
It's been a few days since I've been able to watch an episode. I think I'm only on like episode 6 or 7, but
6 or 7. 6 is Suzuka's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, with Fred,
I memorized
right?
with Fred.
Okay.
I memorized this shit.
I'm still early on in that series, but so far from what I've watched, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, they call Outlaw Star the cousin of Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if anyone knew that.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Majora, did you watch it yet?
I watched the My Hero Academia movie.
That's a no.
Damn. Well, you know what? At least we're 75% there, so that's all right.
I'll get there. I'll make that my next one to watch.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check us out at www.geekbluespodcast.com. That blues is with a Z. All right. We are on all forms of social media. All right. So just take your pick. You can find us. And also, this episode is airing on April Fool's Day. So happy April Fool's Day, everybody.
Fuck you. April Fools.
And that's the end of the episode. Everyone have a good night.
See ya.
No, I'm kidding. All right.
Just to tell people that I watched Outlaw Star.
Wait, you were joking about that?
No, I'm saying no.
Yo,
Actually, I explained it. I actually watched it, but
You're right. You did. So for a second, I thought you were April fooling me for a second. I was like, no, wait.
No, I actually watched it. Yes,
That would have been a good one, though.
I would have got you good too.
You would. And with that being said, it's time. Who knows what time it is?
To not guess that anime intro.
April Fools.
Nope, it's time for my special segment, ladies and gentlemen, the one that I personally am responsible for in this show, the one I love and care for, as if it were my own child. Guess that anime opening. Boom.
Ooh, not cool.
All right. Oh, I love that little music right before the segment starts. What do you guys think about that?
Dude, I listen to that in my car or my work van, and it bumps every time.
It took me a while to find that actual theme too, because I was actually at work and I was asking like everybody, "What do you think of this theme? What do you think of that theme?" And everyone chose that one, so I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's definitely
Pretty good.
good. It just, it's how much can I enjoy a song that's geared towards my misery of not. It's like, I love it, but every time I hear it, like, oh fuck, here we go again.
You shall know true pain.
Yes, listeners at home, if you have followed us already, you know the deal. All right, I'm playing an anime intro, and you have to guess what anime it came from. All right, if you're just now listening to this episode and it's your first time dealing with our podcast, then, as I've just said, I'm playing an anime intro. Guess it from home. All right, now, Bill, Danny Guy, and Space, and Major, I have money on this. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So, depending on whether you guess these or not,
Oh wait, what?
somebody has faith in you. I bet against you guys, but someone has faith in you.
Whoever bet that money, I'm sorry you're about to lose.
You know what that mean? You know what that means? He just picked like the hardest ones possible.
No, I was fair. I was fair. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
At least I thought it was fair, but all right. Apparently, my friend has faith in you guys, so
Sorry, friend.
we'll see.
In
Yeah,
advance.
We'll see. So here's our first anime opening. Da 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 da.
Death
All
Parade.
right, eh? Who said that?
Bill.
What was your answer?
Death Parade.
Oh, he's right.
I knew it right away, dude.
I was gonna say that sounds
Where's
so
my
fucking
shot?
familiar.
Where's my shot? Where's my shot?
Fuck you, Bill.
Damn, I lost $20.
Yo, $20.
Oh! That your friend must love me. He loves me to drink with that $20.
Damn, I lost $20. All right, fuck.
You didn't get that one, huh?
You said what?
You didn't think I could get that one? That's a classic, dude. That's so good.
I didn't think any of you would get that
I
one.
loved that anime, dude.
Yeah, Death Parade's good.
Damn, the one time. The one time.
The one time you bet money is the time you lose.
I knew immediately, dude. As soon as the song ended, I'm like, Death Parade, got it. Boom.
Well, good job, Bill. I'm proud of you still, even though you cost me money.
And a shot. That's more money.
Yeah, and a shot. That's like $25.
Nice.
Well, here's the next anime intro.
Yeah, he's off the feet already.
So salty. He's so salty.
Here we go.
Stray, stray. In the cold breeze that I walk along, the memories of generation burn within me. And forever.
All right, any takers?
I have no idea on that one.
Is it about someone who's straying? You know, like a stray cat?
I hope your friend didn't bet on both songs.
Yeah.
No,
because-
we agree that if any of you got either one of these two, then I would lose the money.
I don't know this one. So.
I don't even care anymore. I'm just like, yeah.
Whatever, dude has $20. I'm set.
Well, that anime intro came from the show, one of my personal favorites, actually, epic soundtrack, and came from Wolf's Rain.
Never even heard of that. Wait, I think you've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I don't think
I have,
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I really like that show a lot. I have the DVDs for the episodes and everything.
Is that an
And one of my favorites.
Is that an older one? Like Outlaw Star? Like when did that come out?
No, this came out in like the 2000s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still old school, still old school, but it's still really good. And also one of my favorite singers, Steve Conte, was really big on the soundtrack for this anime. He also worked with the soundtrack for Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a really good singer. In fact, did he sing that song or was that someone else? No, he did. As far as Wolf's Rain goes, he did the song "Heaven's Not Enough,"
Okay.
and that was a really good song.
I'll have to check it out.
And Ghost in the Shell, he did "Living Inside the Shell." So,
Dandy would know that one better than me.
are you familiar with that song, Dandy?
The name rings a bell.
So, never mind. So you don't know it.
Nope.
Why?
Get out of here.
That's a no.
Take pants off. Get out.
So, that being said, let's get into the main topic for today. All right. So, what is the main topic for today?
Anime villains, where their ideologic might have been right the whole time.
Correct.
Look at me go. I'm 2 for 2 tonight. Look at that.
Yeah, and we can also throw out some good villains in general.
Yeah, that's what I was
or
thinking,
some bad,
too.
or some bad ones. But our discussion will be about anime villains, ladies and gentlemen. What did they stand for? Was it worth standing for? Was it worth dying for? Was it a waste of time? Let's throw it all out there on the table.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you guys look for in an anime villain? Since we're talking about this whole thing now.
I like someone who's like, to be honest, fucking crazy, sadistic, fucking just like, but also like very, very what is the word? Calculated, conniving, things like that. I just like really, really fucked up villains, to be honest.
So you're like so you like Jokers who fall? Sorry, do you like anime villains who fall along the same lines as like the Joker from DC Comics, sort of?
Yeah, fucking crazy,
Okay, I like that.
psychotic.
All right. Now I have to say I like this is not an anime villain, but one of my favorite villains of all time. I'm a huge Batman fan, right? So one of my favorite villains of all time is Ra's al Ghul. Anyone familiar with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam Neeson played him in the Batman Begins movie, but he's a great character. He's the head of the League of Assassins or the League of Shadows. Those are the names that have been given. You know, so he's he's lived for over 600 years. He's genius level intellect. He's a master combatant, and he almost actually destroyed the Justice League by stealing some of Batman's plans. Everyone ever read that comic? I know I'm digressing with the comics and everything, but if you're a big DC fan or a comic fan in general, definitely check out the comic known as, I think it was the Tower of Babel or Babylon.
Yeah, I didn't read any of that, so I wouldn't know.
And yeah, but it's just definitely check that out, and you'll see how great Ra's al Ghul is. Or you can read the Birth of the Demon, another great graphic novel, Batman related. That speaks about Ra's al Ghul's his history and everything. But I definitely like those calculating villains as well. Those who believe what they're doing to be good, a good cause, but it actually ends up like their means of doing it
Yeah.
are just they fuck up everybody
Yeah,
else.
but the first person I'm going to talk about is just like that.
You are? All right. Majora, Danny, what do you guys think?
Personally, I like villains who are, I would say, like relatable sort of sense. So like, if you know what their backstory is, you can at least understand why they're doing something or the reasoning for it or why they became to that conclusion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally like villains like that because it makes them multidimensional, makes them human in a sense. Something that, even though you know they're bad, you can't help but kind of root for them or really see from their perspective.
All right.
I could agree with that. I also really just like really psychotic villains. I like a lot of fucked up psychotic animes, just like Bill does. So the crazier, the better, in my opinion.
So the crazier the better. I like that. You know, I also like the tragic villain. Like the villain who started out being decent, but then some fucked up shit happened, and they just end up falling off the rails, but you still kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Even though they're fucking up everyone else's lives.
Yeah, because you could see like what happened to them, and you could see how like they like almost like psychotically broke into the person they are now, and what they're doing. You get it, but you also are like,
Yeah.
yo, come on, stop it.
So that being said, all right, somebody throw a villain out there. Let's see who do we got. Who we got first on our discussion?
All right, I picked Mr. Sato from Ajin.
Oh, yo, I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
he loves murder and terrorism and destruction, but he's doing it out of the passion for like something positive. So he's in Ajin and he's fighting for the civil rights of Ajin because they're looked down as less than human, basically, because they are demi-humans who can't die, and when they die, they come back to life and all that stuff. But he basically tries to take over the entire government with terrorism and murder and all that crazy shit. And you understand why, because obviously fighting for the civil rights of his own people is such a great cause, but he's doing it in such a bad way. He's doing it like he's murdering people and striking fear into the hearts of many because he's pissed off.
Right, and rightfully so, because if I remember correctly, they were experimenting the shit out of these odd.
They would kill them over and over and over, and they feel pain. They feel pain,
Yeah.
and then when they die, they just come back to life. So, and they just
Yeah.
they had them all wrapped up in like bandages and stuff, and they would like saw off their arms and fucking just torture the shit out of them. And then they like the people who side with Sato basically have snapped and are okay with killing everyone to prove that they need rights and all that stuff.
Yeah, and for those that haven't watched Ajin yet, it's on Netflix. Definitely check it out. For people who don't know what an Ajin is, basically, it's a individual who can't be killed through, external means.
Yes.
So you can shoot them, stab them, run them over with a truck, and they'll just come back to life. They can age though.
Mm-hmm.
They just, they can age and die, I believe, but they can't die from physical wounds. And they also have those shadow beasts that they can summon, which I thought was a really cool concept.
Those are savage, dude. The one scene in the hospital room, oh my goodness!
Yeah.
When he they get stabbed. Oh, it's so great. It's like some Freddy Krueger ass shit.
Yeah, and Mr. Saito, as he's going through because he's like a freedom fighter. I was watching him with every time he was on the screen, I would lean forward because he was. One, this dude can fight.
Oh yeah, Well, he's a trained military vet.
Yeah, because they showed him in the beginning of the anime when he was younger, like fucking everything
Yeah.
up. But yeah, he's definitely a freedom fighter. He's fighting for the rights of other Ajins, so they don't no longer get experimented on. And honestly, I was on his side because how many times have to kill somebody before you realize?
Before you
A very good choice. Very good choice. Anyone else?
I'll let Major go.
This one is less ideology and more of somebody who I think is a little more relatable. It would be Lucy from Elfen Lied.
See, all I watched from Elfen Lied was the first episode because that was too much for me. What was going on?
Really?
Yeah, that was. I mean, and that might sound kind of strange coming from someone who watches and enjoys Hellsing Ultimate
And Berserk.
very much. And Berserk. But the way she was ripping everybody apart, and I was like, this is just gratuitous. And it felt like violence without purpose. But since I've never watched the anime, go ahead and enlighten us why you think she is a great villain. Isn't she the main protagonist?
She is the main protagonist, but she falls in the category of villain / anti-hero. Basically, the whole thing that happened with her is she was repeatedly experimented on, and when she was a child, she was bullied in orphanages because she has horns on her head, because she was, again, an experiment. She had DNA relating through her body of a person, and a different sort of, I don't know what's considered, if it's a race or something. It's really weird. It's something that you would have to watch it, but, again, you probably won't. But her whole killing spree ended up happening because a dog that she had, owned on the orphanage, she witnessed a bunch of orphans killing her dog, beating it brutally. And after that, she began to grow less sentimental toward humans, and that's when she started going on her killing spree. She would kill people, and whole families just use their house. She would give people heart attacks by using telekinetic powers, and again, like the first episode you saw, she was destroying people left and right. The thing that makes her relatable is that she had a terrible upbringing through being bullied, being used by whatever organization that it was, testing on her, doing experiments, painful things. She went through immense torture, all to the point where she was mentally broken and completely distant from the rest of the world.
Is there an antagonist in that show?
I guess it depends the way you look at it. You can say that she's her own antagonist, because she does end up starting to hear voices in her head based on the DNA that was put into her body as well, basically telling her to continue killing, while another part of her was growing more humanistic. So it's kind of more like an internal battle sort of thing.
Okay, so she's the antagonist of that show, but and also the main character in a way.
Pretty much.
Oh, all right. Well, Bill, Dan, have you guys watched that anime?
Nope. I've watched Elfen Lied, like a few episodes. I like it. I would agree with it.
That's a great analysis.
Oh, all right. It was good. I'm sorry I can't speak more on it because I just haven't watched it. Because like I said, I saw the first episode and I was like, next. But
damn, yeah, the first episode was baller.
That shit was. I was watching it. I was like, I was just like, all right. People were like getting their heads twisted off and shit. I was like, what? It was like some fucking snuff film bullshit. And she was all naked. I was like, what the fuck is going? What kind of porno shit is this? No, you know what? Let me stop. I'm not because I haven't watched it. I watched only the first episode, so let me stop talking bad about it. Because I still think people should. Based off what Major is saying, I think people should watch it and give it a chance. So, but I might go back to it. Probably not. I don't know.
Eventually,
at least you're honest, though.
Maybe eventually.
Eventually,
we'll see.
It's only like 13 episodes, I think, something around that.
Yeah, it's nothing long.
Now I have a question for you, Dandy. In regards to a person I was thinking about for this discussion. Would you say that Lelouch v. Britannia ended up becoming the villain of his story? Or was he still the hero at the end?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
And for those who don't know, I'm talking about Code Geass. Lelouch v. Britannia is the main character of that episode.
He's kind of like the villain, but he's also still kind of a hero. He's like both.
Because everyone turned on him.
Yeah, everyone turns on him. So like, he got the villain. He definitely became the villain. You know, even for, he became a villain. He became his own villain.
Yeah, because I think it was all because of his ambition. He was
Yeah,
too
I would agree with
ambitious.
that.
And, it was like a Macbeth kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
actually, yeah.
And because I was thinking about that earlier today when I decided to do this, and I was like, I think Lelouch is up there. It was his the whole anti-hero thing was good with becoming Zero and trying to overthrow the government from and but really like he made it seem like he was overthrowing the government just so he can help the 11s, aka they call the Japanese 11s in this anime, but he made it seem like he was helping them, but he was actually using them for his own goals to get revenge on his family and his father in particular.
No, he definitely became the villain.
Because he was just basically turned everyone into pawns, and everyone realized it at some point. It was like, "Fuck you, we know what you're about." I still enjoyed his character though. I really did. It was a great story.
Oh, he has a great character. Absolutely great character. That was definitely one of my favorite animes. I've got one though that I'm not. I feel like it's kind of like on the borderline maybe. Light Yagami.
I knew somebody was gonna say him.
But it's just like I don't know. Like it's a very good example where he's doing things in the beginning and killing like only bad people, and like you can understand it from like a humanistic standpoint. Like, oh, okay, well that's not bad. Like get rid of the murderers and rapists. That's fine. Whatever, fuck them. But at the same time, he's still committing murder. He's still killing people. He's still a villain.
Yeah, because it really got weird when he started killing cops and
he just started killing everyone. He lost control at one point, and then it was a downward spiral, and Ryuk had his fun.
Yeah, because at one point in the show, I was like, okay, this is getting darker. But it also raised like someone in our Facebook group. Who was it? I forgot. But when I posted, was it Christian?
Who mentioned Yagami Light?
Yeah, was it him?
Yeah,
it was him. You're right. It was Christian. Who I made that post about the anime villains and everything in our Facebook group. Me and him had a back and forth about Light Yagami, and also talked about Stain from My Hero Academia, who I mentioned in a second. But he did. Christian made a good point about it. Raises the questions of crime and punishment, of death penalty and everything. So so here's my question to all three of you. When Light Yagami started killing off those prisoners, what was your initial reaction?
yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, it also depended on like what crime they committed, but the ones that he was originally killing were like.
Weren't they on death row originally, or was he just killing people who were convicted?
No one ever said they were on death row. He just
or was it to be assumed that they were on? Because I mean, my thing is, if they're on death row,
you can't assume it either. That anime is very. That anime was very specific.
It was, but what I'm going on is, if they were on death row, then for me it makes no difference because legally they're already sentenced to death. However, if they weren't, and they were simply put away for the crime, and they were deemed not fit for capital punishment, that raises the question of, is it okay?
And the answer is no. If it's like if they weren't on death row, I don't think it's right. I think it's wrong. It's murder. It's like, so say someone got was in jail for like manslaughter. They didn't have the death penalty. Say they got 20 years or something like that. That person still has a life in 20 years. It's the way the justice system works. You can't just kill that person. So that's where he is committing crimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that he was. So who's saying? So Bill, are you saying he was wrong for killing the criminals?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
I understand why he was doing it, but I think it's wrong because it's still a crime. He's still murdering people his own way too, not through the justice system. That's murder. That's a crime. So, right. But I understand exactly why he's doing it. I understand the purpose behind it, but it still doesn't make it right.
And Major, what's your final say about this?
At the end of the day, it's vigilantism, and
what? Hold on, no.
Hang on. I'm not done.
All right, go ahead.
He's taking justice into his own hands without the proper procedure of law. So it's not legal justice. It's personal justice, or whatever else you want to call it, but it's not legal justice. So it is wrong on that front. But if you're looking at it from a humanoid perspective, it's in one way or another, somebody's form of justice. Justice is
What other
subjective unless
perspective
you're
is there
talking
besides a
about.
human perspective?
No, what I'm saying is there's two. The way you look at it, it's either. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? It depends on the way you're looking at it. The only time that everybody can agree on one thing if it's legal, if it's legal justice. If not, then you grab two people off the street and don't ask them about legal justice. They might have two different forms of justice in the situation. So legally, he is completely in the wrong, 100%.
All right, so if you were sitting at home and you saw the news and criminals are dropping left and right, but just like they were in the anime, so you would just be like, what?
Oh shit! These people are dying. I'm gonna follow the fucking law.
Didn't they say in the anime that the crime rate in Japan dropped a certain amount of percentage from what he was doing?
Fuck yeah!
It dropped a lot.
It dropped like 75%.
75%. Yeah, I didn't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, it dropped like dramatically.
Yeah, he was killing motherfuckers left and right. He was killing purse snatchers and shit. Well, Dandy, what about you?
I don't know. I mean, like, so obviously he's not going by the system and by the law. So, like, obviously it's technically murder and breaking the law. At first, it seemed like he was only killing, like, really bad people. I understand what Bill's saying. Like, they still have a life, like, even if they get sentenced. And it's like, even if you disagree with the system and the sentencing structure and how much someone gets for doing a certain crime, it's still the way the system works, whether you like it or not. So from that aspect, yeah, he's definitely committing, like, he's in the wrong. But from, like, a morality standpoint, like, I don't know, I agree with Major at that point. Like, you take two people off the street and ask them the same question about justice, and they're going to have two different varying answers on, like, what kind of justice, because there's the systematic justice and there's also, like, personal justice and what you rightfully believe in, and every person believes in different things. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up there.
So I'll ask this one final question, then we'll move on. Who here believes in the death penalty?
I do.
I'm conflicted. I hate to say that I'm conflicted, but I'm conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I'm conflicted. Depends on how, like, I mean, if it's like, like, okay, like the Aurora shooting at the theater from James Holm, like, I feel like that motherfucker should get the death penalty. But at the same time, like, that's not really how our system works. We don't have the death penalty anymore. So,
Well, not New Jersey.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm definitely conflicted on it.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to ask that. I know it was a little more political.
What about you?
Yeah,
you didn't answer.
Damn it.
You didn't answer.
We're making you answer that. You can't get away from that.
No, I'm not for the death penalty. I'm not for it.
Any particular reason?
Well, I would like to believe that people can change, and if not, they'll just rot in jail for the rest of their lives. Let them kill themselves if they can't take that that imprisonment anymore. I don't believe murderers should have the chance to rejoin society, especially depending on the crime. You know what I mean? But I don't really think killing
an eye for an eye,
really
basically.
Hasn't gotten us anywhere. Yeah, I mean, and some people might say, well, what if someone killed your loved one, and wouldn't you want them? Well, listen, that's a hypothetical. All right, so
talk to me when it happens. That
I
hopefully it never happens.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and plus it's expensive anyway because there's so many appeals that go into it. You know, and it's not really. I mean,
anyway, who's your character, Genbu?
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. He was one of the. I'm gonna mention the one who was in that post. I mean, actually, I really did enjoy Stain from My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Mainly because at first I thought he was a nut. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, at first glance, it's like that's kind of what they portrayed him as at first.
But then he was saying that he stood for the fact that he believed that heroics had become too commercialized, and people were just doing it to get their names out there for benefits and advertisements
Money.
and everything. And because the heroics had taken such a position like that, he wanted to throw the system out of whack and remind people, this is, you shouldn't be a hero for this. And so that's why he was targeting those heroes. He believed that he was really targeting the ones who were the most advertised and who were commercialized and not really really there for the
almost
glory.
fake.
Yeah, and but he respected All Might because All Might never did. He never did for anything like that. Like his issue was never with All Might, which he stated continuously during his killing sprees. So, but because All Might actually stands for true heroics, and he doesn't do it for commercials and cereal boxes and things like that, which we see in All Might's character, and we see that in Deku's character as well. Didn't Stain acknowledge Deku as well?
Yeah, at
too?
the end of the
Yes.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was killing people, and there are better ways to definitely, toss up the system, or make a statement. But he did make a statement, and it did resonate with people,
And his quirk was awesome.
and it was. So I like that that position he took as far as his ideology.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because that type of situation, I feel like would happen in a real life scenario as well, where people would just try to raise their ranks just to get rich and famous. It's like how I hate to put a weird spin on it, but if you like hip hop music, how these terrible mumble rappers are, and these SoundCloud rappers, how they're just doing it for the money and the fame and the girls and the drugs, while you have people like NF and other artists who are extremely lyrically driven and do it for the passion of rap and hip hop. And they don't really care about the money and all that stuff. They know that'll come because they have talent. And the other people are the fake people in the rap game. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm comparing it, if you understand.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's you have all these heroes that are doing it for the glory, and they like being rich and famous and signing autographs, but they don't do it because they hunger to save people. They do it to satiate their own their self.
Right.
Yeah.
Major and Dandy, what do you think? Do you have anything to say on that?
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree. Oh,
Wow.
I know that's really.
I was just wow, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much explained as as thoroughly as it could be.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Anyone else have any villain that they would like to bring?
I'm not gonna say this is someone who's super right in their ideology. It's just a fun villain that I really enjoyed, and that is Roberta from Black Lagoon.
Roberta. She wasn't really a villain
Maid?
though. No, she wasn't a villain. She was trying to get the boy back.
Yeah, but she murdered a lot of people.
So did everyone else in the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. All right. Then pass. I'll pass. Then fine. Fuck you.
No one in that anime is righteous in any means
All right,
whatsoever.
man. That's fine. All right.
I mean, listen. If you disagree with me, then you can definitely keep on going. I'll listen.
The sound of defeat.
No, I already made him lose money today. I'm fine.
In fact, I thought Roberta was actually one of my favorite characters. I thought she was cool. She was the Lagoon Company.
Yeah, she was
They were
made.
doing what was essentially human trafficking.
She was fucking crazy though.
If anything, she was the hero in that story. In that episode.
I don't know.
Was she not trying to save the boy?
She was, yeah.
And the Black Lagoon was they were going to get money for the boy by trading him off to the Cuban gang, right?
Yeah.
So the bad guys in that
Yeah.
scenario.
Then
were
every
the
time,
Black
every time they
Lagoon.
were mentioned, it's what was her nickname? The Bloodhound or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was something like that, and because she's a hardcore terrorist, or used to be. She was special forces or some shit, right? I don't really remember that well.
Yeah, she was.
I read the whole manga, but
She
it was a
worked,
couple years ago.
Yeah, she was with the Cuban mafia. Well, she was in the military first. Then she was with then the military was working with the Cuban mafia, and she was guarding. When she found out that all she was doing was guarding cocaine plantations and everything, she realized that she'd been spilling blood for nothing. You know, she thought she was fighting a revolution, but she found out it was all for drugs,
Yeah,
and
she
she
was
quit.
like murdering children and women and anyone for the cartel. And then she became a
Yeah.
maid for the Lovelace family.
But yeah, I liked her. I enjoyed her character. You know, even though, yeah, I mean, she had a bad
That's
background.
kind
and
of what I was
everything, but
going for.
as far as the current,
like that she did so much terrible shit in her past, but that's fine. And doesn't she like she's like taking like a whole bunch of like antipsychotic medication and stuff too, and because she's like,
no, she
you
wasn't
sure?
doing any of that. Yeah, I'm sure. I watched the anime 4 times. I love that episode. She wasn't taking any antipsychotics. I'm 100%
Doesn't
sure.
have hallucin. I can't even say the word right now.
Hallucinogenic.
Hallucination.
Yeah, hallucinations. There it is from like her past victims.
Not that I heard them mention. I know she's not taking. I know she wasn't
I
taking
gotta
medication.
rewatch it.
Or I know
I
that
gotta
was
rewatch it because I remember that for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I watched that anime was probably 2 months ago. Because, like I said, I just came home and decided to watch and turned it on, and I actually liked that episode a lot. So I watched. I go back to the episode every now
Yeah,
and
that's a
then.
lot sooner than when I've watched
Honestly.
it. So I guess I'll take your word over mine. It's been like 3 years for me since I've watched that show.
Yeah, but it was a yeah. I just don't. I just don't think she was
Okay.
the villain. Majora, what do you got?
So when you had originally made that post on Facebook, one character had went through my mind just periodically, but I also saw it on the post, and that was Pain. But I don't think that that's the best example from Naruto, to be honest with you. For me, I would have to say Orochimaru. And if you-
What?
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to agree, so just hear me out. So this was more explained, I guess, in Shippuden than it was the original run of Naruto. But Orochimaru's whole goal at the end of the day, and the reason why he was doing this, is because he wanted to figure out a way for humans to be able to live forever. And the reason for this is because when he was younger, his parents had died morbidly when he was young, and he had to grow up as ninja and participate in many wars, which he saw too many of his own comrades die. He saw Tsunade's lover and her brother pass, and he did not like the fact that so many people had to die so senselessly. So this is one of those characters where he did the wrong things for the right reasons. He experimented on many children, kidnapped people, killed people, doing all this stuff, trying to perfect this way so that people could be able to live forever and not have to go through the same thing.
I
that
don't
he
think
went
that's
through.
the right reasons, though. I don't think people should live forever.
You have to come from his perspective, where he had to witness so many people die and the hurt that it caused everybody else around
a lot
him.
of people die.
So everyone else was doing. Every other ninja was witnessing the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
thing. But his goal, like Bill said, if you know the goal of making people immortal is not a. I don't see how.
And he was just like, ooh,
I just-
let's get that Sasuke boy. Blah, I'm a snake guy.
Yeah, and he was changing bodies and stealing people.
Yeah, he was
Again, that's-
fucked up, dude.
And he was a low class pedophile.
I would
in
say
my opinion.
Sasuke in for a little bit was like more of a villain, or his brother for Itachi.
Itachi-
I was
Itachi's
about
my
to say
book,
Itachi
yeah.
because
That's
he
what I
was
thought.
forced
Yeah.
basically to do everything that he did.
Yeah, Itachi, I think, is the best example from the Naruto anime. Is it my turn? Is it
Yeah.
my turn?
Yeah,
I'll go.
Next. Just go.
I'll go. Okay, this is one of my personal favorites. And I don't think anyone's watched this anime, but I've mentioned it a couple of times on this podcast. And I think I mentioned this individual too. I'm going with Shogo Makishima or Makishima from I'm having a brain
What is
fart.
it?
He's from Shogo Makishima from
What's he from?
ah
Man, you love this anime.
that I do. Why am I having a brain fart right now? This is embarrassing.
Good thing we're not recording right now.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. Hold on. This is what Google's for. Why am I having a brain fart? Oh, I'm sorry, people.
Psychopaths.
Listeners, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Okay.
You know how long I waited for you to get that before I decided just to blurt it out?
You looked it up.
I did, but I looked it up when you first said it and couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, Psychopaths. I watched this anime 2 or 3
I thought you were gonna say
times.
12 times. I was gonna be like, geez.
No, not. I never watched the anime that many times, but no. But Shogo Makishima is a great villain, in my opinion, and many other people's too. From what I've from based off conversation, because the government that runs their society in Japan, it's called the Sybil system, and this system pretty much tells people, what they're best suited for in life based off of their psyche and their crime coefficient. And a crime coefficient in this anime is basically your capacity to commit crimes mentally. Like what mental stage you're at where you are considered a latent criminal. And everyone would always get their minds analyzed throughout the city to make sure that their crime coefficients weren't skyrocketing above like 150 or so. Because if your crime coefficient was high, they would imprison you until it got low. Or based off of your crime coefficient or your mental capacity, they would either make you a garbage man or a cop or a nurse or whatever. But the civil system was pretty much it's like a pretty much a computer ran society where it's kind of utilitarian in a way. But this one character, Shogo Makishima, his crime coefficient can't be read. And because of that, he's pretty much invisible to society. So no one can really label him or anything, and no one can really, they can't really adapt to him. And because of that, he can see how flawed the system is, and he makes his own moves to dismantle it. And the way he goes about doing it is very genius and very tactical. And he's also psychotic. Because not only can he fight, he's a great fighter. He studies an Indonesian martial art. I forgot the name of it, but his main weapon is a razor, like the kind you use to shave.
Yeah,
the single blade razors. Yeah, he's killed a couple people with that, very sadistically. But definitely a great villain. And has anyone checked that out yet? I know I mentioned it before.
No, I have not. I watched like the first couple episodes. Yeah, I watched the first couple
right?
episodes. I haven't watched the rest of it.
Yeah, I've watched like a shit ton of that.
Oh, what do you think then? Yeah, back me up. Yeah.
No, I would,
or go against me if you don't think he was a good choice, and let me know.
No, I think he's a good choice. I really like that anime too. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that deep into it. I think I'm like 10 episodes deep into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like the way it was. Like, say, Bill, for example, say you're walking down the street, right? And you had to go into say you had to get a new license or something, so you went to the DMV. And there's a little robot outside the DMV that would analyze you before you went into the DMV. And say your crime coefficient was, say you experienced a trauma, like say something bad happened to you, and which caused your crime coefficient to go up, and you went to the DMV to get a new license, and say your crime coefficient was like 208.75, they would detain you immediately and put you in a facility.
That's not very nice.
Yeah, and then
is that the show where they have the guns that like explode people's heads and stuff? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dominators.
Yeah.
I guess you won't need a license after that. Fuck.
Yeah, right.
They can just take a picture of my neck without a.
Yeah, but Shogo was cool. He was cool. He was also very manipulative, and but the way he went about doing things, he was a huge thorn in the civil system side. And you see that in the anime. But what he stood for, he saw how the government system was basically turning people into drones.
Because and they weren't. I mean, the fact that your job and everything about your life is decided on your crime coefficient, the civil system.
Yeah.
I mean, you get stuck being like a fucking garbage trash man, like who doesn't get paid that well, or something along those lines, like. You're gonna fucking resent and hate the fucking system, which makes your crime coefficient go up. Which
go up.
Has to sit in fucking jail or whatever for a while.
Right. Yeah, because the things they would do to try and prevent your crime coefficient from going up actually caused it to go up.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Which led to your detainment or execution.
Sounds like a fun time.
I would not want to live in that. I would not want to live in that world.
It actually reminds me of a movie, and I just can't remember the name of it. But basically, it's where we're so far advanced in technology that before somebody gives birth, their genetics are read based off like an ultrasound, and it'll tell you exactly, how old or what age the baby will be when they die. What they'll be good for in society, what they won't be, what jobs they'll be limited to, and what jobs they can't be. It reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, stuff like that. You definitely don't want to live in a society like
Oh,
that.
hell no.
Yeah.
But Bill, what was your other one?
I have two, but I know we're short on time, so I'll just kind of I'll graze over both of them. So the first one is something I believe we've all watched recently, and that is Isabella, aka Mom from The Promised Neverland.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I want to
Now,
hear this.
she is a villain
Yeah.
because she is killing children, basically. She is shipping out orphans and shipping them out as food for these demons. Now, the reason why I feel for her is because she was an orphan. She was brought up through this system, and the only way to survive this system without obviously escaping the plantation or anything like that is to become a mom. That's the only way to survive. And she did that. She went through the schooling, and they kind of broke her down pretty mentally. She was forced to become pregnant and give birth, and it's just like she's a villain because she's the villain of all your favorite characters: Norman, Emma, Ray, all of them. She's trying to kill them, but at the same time, she was once in their position, and she understands at the same time why they're trying to escape, because you want to survive.
I agree with you. That was a great explanation.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Quick little caveat. Is everybody caught up?
Yes.
On the
Yes,
first
I
season?
am. We can talk
Fuck,
about it
man.
after
What?
the recording.
I got one.
Okay.
I'm not caught up yet. I got one. I
Alright.
think I got one more episode. This is,
Yeah.
Both of you watch it tonight, and then text the group, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you,
I
dude.
thought to watch Steel Hero.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, I'm about to read them. No, I'm not waiting a whole year for the next season. Fuck that, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
that initiative.
I like that.
And the last person, who is an actual villain, his name is, I don't really know how to pronounce his first name. It's either Gaku or Geku. Yashiro. He is the teacher from Erased.
Oh, I
You never saw
that
Erased?
anime.
Well, you are missing the fuck out, sir. And I'm not even going to explain to you who he is. And I think, I kind of, if you're going to watch it, I kind of just gave it away by saying he's a villain. But for anyone who has ever watched that anime, I know, Dandy, you have watched that. Majora, have you watched it?
No. So I'm in the same boat as Gen.
I
right now.
I highly recommend it. It is one of my top 10 favorite shows of all time.
Erased. Is it on Crunchyroll
I believe it's
or
on Hulu,
or
yeah.
anything like that?
All right,
Yeah,
man,
it's
I've got
it's
Hulu.
really, really, really good, and it has one of the best openings of all time.
Word. All right.
I
I'm
love
there.
the intro, dude. The intro music is solid. So I'm not really going to go into it, listeners. If you've watched this show, you already know what I'm talking about. I do not need to explain it, but yeah. So that is the person, and he is from Erased.
Yeah, no,
All
I
right.
would agree with that. I would 100% agree with that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up our episode for today. Don't forget to check out the website, www.geekbluespodcast.com. And yes, thank you for tuning in. Anyone else have anything to say?
Comment,
Before
rate us on iTunes, subscribe. You guys are the best. We love you so much. Just follow us everywhere, man.
Yeah, what that plebe
A
said.
plebe.
Yeah, well,
Plebe.
Wait, what's a plebe? What's a plebe?
I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Never mind, I'm not.
Wait, what is a plebe?
You've
What's a
never heard-
plebe?
You never heard the word before?
You know, I'm just asking what it is because I already
Yeah,
know.
no, he's trying to hold it up. there.
Okay. It's derived from plebeian, which basically means like commoner, but it's more of a.
It's saying that
it's-
you're an ordinary person. You're from a lower social class, basically.
pretty much.
Okay, I might use that from now on.
Kind of like the real world equivalent of like noob when you call somebody a noob or something.
Oh, okay.
I am,
All right, fair
I
enough.
am
I'll listen to
lower
you
middle
today.
class. All right, shut up.
Well, that was not so funny.
Yeah, but like I said,
Great.
just comment, subscribe, rate, do all your things. We love you.
yeah, and tell us who your favorite host
Hold,
is.
hold a
I know
poll.
it's
Hold
me.
a poll in the Facebook
Getting
group
up.
that you should join.
Yes, the Facebook group, the Geek Blues Anime and Gaming Roundtable. Join us. All right, we're always there. And that being said, everybody
Peace.
have a good night.
Have a good night.
Take it easy, guys.
You know what? Wait. I keep saying good night, but I'm gonna say good evening because
Have a great day.
What if they already
a
have
great
a
day.
day?
Yes.
There it is.
Fuck you. Have another great day.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Yes,
yourself.
Have another great day. Yes, enjoy yourselves. All right. All right, everybody. Peace out.